Welcome to the Kill Shot MMA podcast for UFC Perth. Your main event is Jack Della Maddalena versus Carlos Pacade Prates. What's up, guys? I am Sniper back. He's back. It is Monk. Gonna break down all 13 fights on this card, talk DraftKings, talk betting, all that good stuff. You want to join and get more tools and breakdowns at DFS Army, Optimizer, Ownership, all the good shit. Link is in the description on YouTube. Make sure and check that out. Remember, it is a 4 a.m. Saturday start time because they are in Perth, Australia, and I'm happy for the Perth people because usually they're there like Monday mornings, like or Sunday mornings. Like, it's wild. So they get one in their time zone. Get it? Sucks for us watching. I'll have the phone off when I wake up with my coffee. I'll watch the fights from there. So the sweat will be different, but still, make sure you have your lineups locked and enjoy the fights. Monk, been a minute. How are you, my friend? And are you ready for UFC Perth?
Not too bad at all. Glad to be back. Yeah, this card looks great. It looks really, really good. Okay, maybe I won't say great, but it looks very good.
I wouldn't call it great.
Yeah, no, I maybe a little got it too hyperbolous there, but yeah, we got some decent fights.
Great compared to last week. Last week was a little rough.
That's really the bottom line. So yeah, we're making a big comeback here on this card. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, guys, before we get into it, do me a favor, smash that like button, maybe drop a comment with what your favorite play is, but at least hit like. Appreciate everyone who does that. We'll go ahead and let's get things kicked off. Marwan Rahiki versus Ollie Schmid. This was added on fight week. Supposed to be Rahiki Jenkins out. Schmid steps in. Rahiki, big favorite, minus 700. Comeback on Schmid is plus 500. I'm hoping the Ghost to Decision line is posted now. Not yet, but it is minus 180 under 1.5 rounds. Expecting a quick finish here is Vegas. Based on the pricing, you should be able, or the odd, you should know the pricing is pretty big. Marwan Rahiki is 9,600. Ollie Schmid is 6,600. Monk, I know you got limited stats on these two guys, but what do you have for this one?
Yeah, minus 700, minus 180 or whatever you said, ITD. You got to get this one in your lineups, and everybody's going to be on Rahiki for a good reason, most likely. Freaky Rahiki. First of all, it's a great nickname. And his opponent's nickname, not so good. The Hungarian Stallion. That doesn't even rhyme. What are we doing here?
Don't mess with the Hungarians.
No, not mess with Hungarians, but it's always Italian Stallion. It's Haitian Sensation, and now we have Hungarians. This shit just doesn't work. So yeah, I got to root against him. But no, Rahiki kind of but had a very good showing against Hardwick, who hasn't looked good in the UFC. He outlanded him 90-65. Just a stand-up kind of fight, which is kind of what we're looking for here with Rahiki. He has one submission win, but the other of his wins are all by finishes. Most of them in the second round. So I would honestly not look for him to start super hot. Just kind of get his jab going, get a couple combinations going, let him see what Hardwick's going to do. And then once end of round one, round two comes around, that's when I would look for the finishing shot here from Rahiki. So it's going to be expensive, but it could end up being worth it. And if he knows how to throw leg kicks, remember what happened with Harry Hardwick and Kawe Fernandez. So yeah, it's going to be a long night for Hardwick if he can kick.
Hardwick's not fighting.
He's not fighting Hardwick. Oh, not Hard. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm looking at Tapology and it says Hardwick on my screen.
I was just like,
I'm like, he's gonna smash Hardwick. He already did. But yeah, if Ollie can't check kicks, could be a problem for him here. I just like how he looked against Hardwick most of all, and he looked decent on his Dana White Contender Series fight, which was also a second round finish via punches. So yeah, we're gonna have to go with Freaky Rahiki here.
Yeah, Rahiki's a good prospect. Pretty much all the reasons you mentioned. He's solid everywhere. Schmid is 4-2 overall. He was not lighting up the regional scene in Australia. He's lost some guys. His wins aren't a great competition. His best win was his last fight, but overall, I'm not sold on him. Rahiki is just much higher level. Schmid is getting this because it's on short notice and he's in the country. Rahiki, though, also or Schmid's from New Zealand. I believe Rahiki is Australian. Look, it's all about Rahiki here. I'm going to fade Schmid. If he beats me, he beats me. Maybe I'll run back a couple percentage points in GPP. I can't see it being much. I do like Rahiki. Him and Malkoun, you're going to be back and forth. Who going to pay up for? You can make cases for both of them. Go ahead and play Rahiki. I don't know if I can jam in both in cash, but there's nothing wrong with this play. There's nothing wrong with the Malkoun play we're going to talk about. I would probably lean Rahiki a little bit, but it's close because Malkoun's the relentless grappler. So Rahiki's the play here. Fade Schmid, and it's all about ownership and price and kind of not overthinking it. Wes Schultz versus Ben Johnston. Wes Schultz comes in as the underdog at plus 120. Johnston, the favorite, minus 140. Your fight ends inside the distance prop. Should come in at minus 600. Minus under 1.5 rounds is minus 150. So another one that is expected to end early. You should be overweight on this one. Way overweight. Johnston's 8,500. Schultz is 7,700. Monk, who you got?
Yeah, definitely get overweight here. I like Johnston, but we're looking at a 35-year-old guy with 6 professional fights. Going against the guy that has not looked good in any kind of UFC promotion here. He loses to Damian Pinas 2.5 minutes. He loses to Abdul Malik in just under 9 minutes. Both of them KO TKOs. Those are both seemingly powerful / decent fighters. So we're not too worried about the losses, but it's the manner in which he is losing. Because Ben Johnston has a bunch of finishes. He's got all 5 of his wins are finishes. Now they're not knockouts. And Wes Schultz has never been submitted. Johnston has 5 submissions there, but Wes Schultz just hasn't looked good. I mean, though his one fight that he won against Mario Minaj is that I don't know if that's Nicky's cousin or what, but he threw 12 strikes, submitted the dude in under 2 minutes. So we didn't see a ton. He just hasn't looked great. He's allowing 5 strikes a minute in his very short amount of fight time. He's losing the control time battle, and he's been knocked down before. Look for him to spam takedowns probably. Not sure if he wants to do that against somebody that has 4 submission wins though. So that's kind of what I'm looking for, is Schultz to probably make some mistakes. I'm looking to Johnston to capitalize on those, and that's kind of how I see this one going. 8,500 is not terrible. We just have no idea how this guy is going to score. You don't get a knockdown, takes away you don't get that 10 points. If he gets a submission in the second round, he's probably not going to score the best. So just keep that in mind, but 8,500 doesn't break the bank. I like Johnston here.
I also like Johnston. I like the fight more than you do. This is one of my 5-star fights. I think it's probably the 3rd best fight on the card to target, maybe 2nd. It's right up there. Under minus 150, under 1.5 rounds, and you got reasonable salaries as opposed to the last fight. I'm all about being overweight. Yes, Schultz does not look good. You brought up the issues with Johnston. It's hard to be confident. Either side is GPP only. I wouldn't bet this fight, but for tournaments, just be overweight, and it kind of is that simple. I will lean Johnston because he's looked a little better on tape. It's hard to extrapolate versus Australian regional competition versus UFC competition, where Schultz has struggled against that It's a little hard to kind of gauge. My eye test, I lean Johnston. The odds agree. It's close. I'm good with that. Overweight to both sides. Use the DFS Army ownership and just get overweight. Next fight up. Colby the Thicknesse taking on Vince Morales. I think it's actually, is it Thicknesse? I'm going to call him Thicknesse. He's minus 135. It
looks like Thicknesse for sure.
Morales is plus 115. Well, we had 2 great fights to target. This one ain't one of those. Fight goes to decision is minus 250. Should see all 3 rounds this time. Thicknesse is 8,300. Morales is 7,900. Monk, can you get around some of those ITD numbers and play either side of this fight?
That's tough because while Vince Morales has lost 5 straight, none of them have been finishes. His opponents are scoring like, 76, 78, 68, 55, 76. It's not really great as far as DraftKings goes. So that's just another reason to kind of slow down on this fight. Even though Colby is 8,300, Vince at 7,900. 35 years old for Vince. It just has not looked great, as I said, but he's losing to decent fight. Raul Rosas Jr., the Elijah Smith fight was extremely close. Lopulus was all these fights are relatively close for Morales. He's just kind of, having a hard time. It seems like the second round is his worst round statistically. He loses what is that, 73% of these second rounds, or he gets outworked, I should say. Shouldn't say loses, but yeah, gets outworked on 73% of his round twos. So Colby can really turn that up here. That would be to his benefit, but I just haven't seen enough from Colby. I mean, he fought the Topuria, not Ilya, and then he comes back on Mousasi, who hasn't looked great either overall, and kind of, not dominates him, but he looked pretty good. Over 4 strikes a minute, couple takedowns, and over half the fight was thickness and control time. So we see Vince Morales giving up 67% control time. He's getting outstruck, and he's getting he's allowing more takedowns than he's giving. So probably gonna side with Colby Thicknesse here. I'm not very confident in that because Morales is always tough. Even though he's 3-9 in the UFC, it's difficult to finish him. He has 9 losses, only 2 are finishes. So yeah, I got to go Thicknesse here, but it's probably going to decision, and maybe play a little bit of Morales just in case. But he's not cheap enough to really get a ton of equity on that. So I'm just going to kind of chill on this one.
Yeah, I mean, Vince Morales can get takedowns. Again, though, like Thicknesse had a competitive fight against Alexandre Topuria, who is looked pretty decent, honestly, better than I thought he would. And then he beat Mousasi his last fight. He can get takedowns too. It's one of those, I think Morales is getting older, falling off regardless. I don't think this is one to target. I don't think there's enough volume. I don't think there's enough takedowns. The salaries are good. It doesn't feel like an overexposed DFS spot, especially on this card. And the fight we just talked about is right near it in terms of price range. I would lean towards, I think the best play on this, I was going to say you could bet on Thicknesse, but it opened up at, Pick'em, and it keeps getting wider. The window could be closing on betting this one at Pick'em. I would like him in this spot as the rising prospect. We've taken a few of those fraud check or level check type of fights. Morales doesn't, to me, feel like that guy in this spot. I like Thicknesse to get the win, but I don't like the fight for DFS. Jacob Malkoun taking on Gerald, GM3 Meerschaert. Malkoun is the most expensive fighter on the card, which means he's going to come in at, the odds are taking a long time to load, minus 1,100. Meerschaert is plus 700. What this fight does have going for it, the fight ends inside the distance. Number is at a number that is also still loading. There it is, minus 225, minus 172 for under 2.5 rounds. So not the biggest finish odds on the card. Your DraftKings salaries, Malkoun is 9,800, Meerschaert is 6,400, and Monk, while it doesn't have the biggest finish odds on the card, it's got something else going for it. I'll let you break it down.
Yeah, for me, what it's got going is Jacob Malkoun and his DraftKings scoring. He's in the 90th percentile all time. He's averaging 113 per win. He did score 79.1. It was his low. That would have been against Petrosky. Other than that, it's like Maximov is at 130. He just put up 113 against Finney, who is not extremely good, but a primary wrestler. And he was able to get takedowns. He was able to get control time. He was looking pretty good. I mean, 2 takedowns, 5 minutes of control time, and Finney couldn't do anything. He got outstruck by 90 punches. So we do love to see that. The only hiccup Malkoun has had is that Brundage fight where he got DQ'd, which it's a Brundage fight, so that is bound to happen. And the loss before that was Brendan Allen. On paper, he beat Brendan Allen. He took him down 7 times. He controlled him for 3.5 more minutes than Allen had, and he was right there with the strikes, 33-45. So I'm gonna have to rewatch that one before here, but I like Jacob Malkoun. He always flies under the radar. He is a great scorer, very, very focused as far as his wrestling goes. 90% control time overall in all the control time he's ever been in. He's outstriking his opponents by over 2 strikes a minute. Now we get Gerald Meerschaert, who has basically no defense. He's 38 years old, and he loves to get finished more than anyone else on this card. Actually, 8 of his 13 losses rather in the UFC are finishes, and Daukaus just did it in under a minute. Oleksiejczuk, Tavares doesn't finish anyone, and then RDR finished him by submission in the 3rd round. So I really like Malkoun here. Even if it goes to decision, we actually probably want it to go to decision as DraftKings people at 9,800. We need all the takedowns. We need all of the control time. And Gerald Meerschaert gets finished sometimes in the 1st round. So if we don't get it to go to decision, then Malkoun could put up, a ton of points in that very 1st round. Might even score a knockdown. Who knows? He has done that once or twice. But yeah, we're looking for a finish here, and Malkoun hopefully loads up on the points this weekend for us at 9,800.
Yeah, Malkoun's got multiple paths to a big score because GM3's chin is gone at this point in his career. There's no shame in it. Dude keeps getting knocked out, taking a lot of damage, is fight old. He also, the way he wins, looking to win fights, he's pulling guard, he's looking for takedowns. So I don't think he's going to fight Malkoun on the takedowns very hard. He's going to look for subs off his back. That could limit Malkoun's upside a little bit because not multiple takedowns, rinse and repeat, but he's pretty active off his back. Look for control time. I've also seen Meerschaert get tired, like in the De Ridder fight. I don't think Malkoun's going to be the one getting tired. There's plenty of paths to a big score. I'm all about Malkoun. I'll run back, again, sub 5% Meerschaert just in case he catches some kind of crazy sub. But it's the 9,800 of Malkoun is the biggest factor in this fight. It's Malkoun versus Rahiki. Who's going to score bigger? Can you play both? Very few lineups you can play both. I keep flipping back and forth. So quite honestly, I might look at who's going to be the lesser of the own between the two and just play more of the other one, or play more of that person. Just look for leverage. I think it's pretty even. Benefit Malkoun has been in the UFC before and has got multiple paths to the big score, while Rahiki needs to finish. But Rahiki feels a little safer. That's the breakdown between the two. I would probably, gun to my head, make one of each for both. I would play Rahiki in cash and maybe and Malkoun in GPPs. But it's flip a coin. Junior Tafa versus Kevin Christian. Wow, they found a way to make Junior Tafa a favorite. It's unbelievable. He's minus 210. That should tell you all you need to know about Kevin Christian. He's plus 180. Your fight ends inside the distance, comes in at minus 600, under 1.5 rounds, minus 165. More reason why that Vince Morales thickness fight is just not really relevant, because the price ranges on this one are in that ballpark, and we got to talk this, and there's still another one to go. 8,700 for Tafa, 7,500 for Christian. Monk, who you got?
This is terrible. Both guys just lost to Billy Elikana. Somehow Kevin Christian looked so much worse. Just so much. He looked so bad in that fight. I couldn't possibly back him here. So I'm going with Junior Tafa. We had a fight ITD at minus 600. So either way, even if I'm wrong, you're going to play both sides. You're going to hopefully see a finish here. Tafa's been finished, looks like 3 times in the second round. Is that right? Yeah, by Jared Lima, Tuco Tokos, and Billy Elikana all finished Tafa in that second round. So if Kevin Christian can survive one round, I would like to have some exposure to him after that. But dude looked so bad. Like I said, it's just ridiculous against Elikana. He did have a DWCS fight that lasted almost 10 minutes against Bazeo. There was not much happening there. He landed 7 strikes, no takedowns, no control time, and subbed him. So that fight looks just terrible on paper. I don't even want to go back and watch it. So yeah, I got to go with Junior Tafa here. He's fighting at home. Maybe Christian has a super long flight from Brazil, or if he's living there. I know that's his country of origin. I guess I don't know if he lives there. But yeah, I mean, Tafa's landing decent offense, 3.4 a minute, lots of power when he does feel like connecting. He has no takedowns, no control time. Neither does Kevin Christian, at least so far in the UFC. So I got to go with Tafa just because I truly cannot trust Kevin Christian.
Both these guys suck. But yeah,
they do.
You pick against Junior Tafa when the other guy can wrestle. But I don't think Kevin Christian can, and on the feet, I'll take the big power of Junior Tafa. That's what it comes down to. The under 1.5 round line is huge. This is another one. Just get overweight on both guys. I wouldn't fuck with it in cash. Give me Junior Tafa. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you don't need to overcomplicate the breakdown. I also wouldn't bet this fight at minus 210 and plus 180 in the under. I have no interest in betting this fight, and just get overweight to both sides in GPP and move about your day. Neither one's good. Stylistically, I think it favors Tafa. It's kind of sometimes that simple. I like my short, concise breakdowns. And then, of course, I get to a place where I'll start rambling like a lunatic, but when that happens, we'll just indulge me there.
There you go.
Cam Rowston versus Robert Bryczek. Rowston comes in at minus, what is the number? 160. Bryczek, the comeback is plus 140. It's another fight, ends into the distance. Should see a lot of finishes on this card, which is why we were talking about it being a good one to watch. Minus 210. Fight ends at the distance. Minus 175, under 2.5 rounds. Your DraftKings salaries here. Another mid-range one. Rowston. No, Rowston's a little expensive. Sorry. Excuse me. Rowston's 8,900. Bryczek is 7,300. Monk, what's your breakdown?
Yeah, it looks like the line is narrowing a bit because I had roasted earlier in the week at minus 200. Now it's minus 160.
Bryczek's getting a lot of action. He's going to be chalky.
Yeah, he's going to be super chalky. Bryczek, I'm not a huge fan of yet, but maybe I just haven't seen enough. I saw enough though to where he lost to Ihor Pateria, and that wasn't good. He got outstruck 2-1 basically and did nothing else. Does knock out Brad Tavares though, which is interesting because Tavares generally goes to decision in every single fight. Yeah, he is getting up there a little bit in age, but I mean, he's not 40 or anything. I think he's probably 36 if I had to guess.
40 fuck you.
He was 37. He was 37 when they fought. So yeah, he's not like super old or anything, but yeah, he never gets finished and he gets knocked out there in the third round. So I do find that interesting. Cam Rowston has been knocked out once in his not UFC career, but professional career, coming off a win of Brundage, Petrosky, Holmes, loses to Torres Finney. Can't really do anything about that, Torres Finney, if you have no takedowns, because that's what he's going to do, or takedown defense, because that's what he's going to do. And we don't know if Rowston has much in the way of takedown defense. Only Brandon Holmes outside of Torres Finney has attempted, Brundage, sorry, is the only one who attempted a takedown there. So we are going to look for that. Bryczek doesn't throw a ton of takedowns, it looks like, in the UFC. 1 of 1 against Tavares, and that was pretty much it. So if this stays on the feet, I've got to back, the finisher here in Cam Rowston. Bryczek does have 12 KO TKOs as well. I just trust Rowston a little bit more. I don't really trust either of them, actually. Their strength of schedule is pretty bad. So I'm going to go with the guy who has not lost to Ihor Pateria, and I'm going to pick Cam Rowston here. Bryczek he allows too many strikes, over 4 a minute so far. He has been knocked down. He loses the control time battle. We're not expecting to see a ton of that from Rowston, but hopefully we do see a decent fight here, where I would expect someone to find the finish with their hands. So yeah, give me Rowston. Hopefully we get a decent score because we're going to need it to pay off that $8,900 salary if he's not going to have takedowns, control time, nothing else. So got to go with Rowston here, but could get a little bit interesting if he doesn't get an early finish.
Yeah, I'm still going to pick Rowston for that reason, but Bryczek is a live dog. The line is closing. Sure. He's going to be chalky. I'm probably going to end up playing field weight because I don't want to go over on a guy who's going to be chalky, and I actually am going to pick a couple underdogs coming straight up. I think I got a couple surprises coming. We've been pretty chalky to start the card, but that's just the matchups were being dealt. I have some more underdogs I like, so I guess spoiler there. Make sure you guys all stay tuned in. Bryczek, I'll mix in. I do think Rowston wins. Can Bryczek get takedowns? I mean, Rowston was able to get up against Torres Finney, but Finney just kept smothering him, get tired. You'd think his defense would improve after that. I don't think Bryczek is that level of wrestler either. Like I said, I lean Rowston. Bryczek's probably a better DFS play and kind of move on about your day. I don't, in terms of betting this one, the line keeps closing like this, I might throw a bet on Rowston. I do think he's better everywhere, unless Bryczek can get takedown. So that's what's starting to peak out here just based on the line movement, except just keep an eye on, I'm not going to do anything until weigh-ins because you have to worry about, is this line moving because of an injury? Is Rowston going to miss weight? What do these guys look like? That is the other thing that I think we need to monitor after weigh-ins. Well, at this point, weigh-ins are coming up soon when we're recording this. So I will have an eye on that, but Cam Rowston will be the pick. Tuivasa versus Louie Sutherland. Tuivasa minus 220. Sutherland is plus 185. Sutherland has not looked good in his UFC stint, but it looks like he'll fight for your money at least. Fight ends at the distance is minus 325, about 50-50 under 1.5 rounds, so not as big as some of the others, but on paper still a good fight to target. Tuivasa comes in at 8,600. Sutherland at 7,600. Monk, what you got?
Yeah, great. Hopefully a sloppy heavyweight fight, which is great for DraftKings here. I don't know. I think you said Sutherland will fight for your money, and that is true. But what I saw from Tai Tuivasa in that Taliesin Teixeira fight, and who knows, Taliesin Teixeira, I mean, as far as quality of talent goes, we have yet to see that, but it's not looking fantastic. He was almost out in that one, and that third round, I mean, good Lord, what a fantastic fight to watch. Tai would not be killed. He was throwing, he was laying and praying, trying to get his energy. He was the one that was looking to get that finish there at the end, and Taliesin maybe had a little bit left, but that dude was spent as well. So it looks like Tai, if he doesn't, make some very terrible mistake early on, will also fight for your money. The problem is neither of these guys have any defense whatsoever. Tai's allowing 5 over his UFC career, 5 strikes per minute, and Sutherland so far in his short UFC career averaging 7.5. I mean, there's takedowns there. There is some control time for Sutherland. So if Sutherland is smart, he is going to have to get Tai Tuivasa off his feet. If he doesn't, it's going to be a really short or long night for him in the worst way. So, man, I wonder if you're going to pick Sutherland here because of the takedowns.
No, it's not one of the dogs.
Yeah, I can't do it here. I mean, that is a good weapon to have against somebody like Tai Tuivasa, who has.
Why I'm going to not hate him.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So it's 60% takedown defense. And it's good that you don't hate. I mean, 76, it could be a little bit lower for the salary, but that's cool. I'm going to go with Tai Tuivasa here. I just don't trust Sutherland. Tai's been around there and back and then gone and then back again. And I don't know, man. It was just that second and third round, that Teixeira fight. He could have given up, man. He could have pulled a Derek Lewis, and he didn't. He just didn't. And I really respect that. So, yeah, I'm going with Tai Tuivasa. Hopefully he can fight through any adversary. You know the word I'm talking about, and get the knockout here over Sutherland.
Yeah, Sutherland, he's been knocked out. You got to take down against Pericic. That's the weapon you need against Tafa. That's what makes him live. And Tafa's lost 6 straight. Tuivasa. Tuivasa has lost 6 straight fights. It's a little rough. I do, like I said, he's still in there. Didn't get finished last time out. I do think Taliesin Teixeira is dangerous. Did clearly get gassed. If you guys are going to stand and trade, Sutherland probably going to look for a takedown. Again, this is another one. There's a few spots, and there's still one more coming, where I'm just going to say get overweight on both sides. That's why I was so adamant on the fights like Thicknesse and Morales be underweight. There's another fight coming I'm going to say don't really fuck around with. There's a few at the back end here that it seems to go that way, alternate. I'm either really front of the card heavy or back of the card heavy. I'm about to say be underweight a bunch. So I know if you're listening through the whole way through, you're like, what the fuck are these? You can't be overweight to everybody. I know that. And a lot of the bigger names on this card, I'm going to tell you, I'm probably going to be underweight, including the main event. Spoiler alert. I don't love that one for DFS. And that's going to be a little bit scary, but yeah, it's a front-loaded card. This is one, again, to get over on both sides, and I'll be on the Tuivasa side. Next fight up, Shamil Gaziev. I mean, we only got a few more fights coming, so I guess just I'm kind of I hit my marker. People are going to hear me ramble here. This fight, Shamil Gaziev versus Brando Pericic, another one to get overweight on. What I'm getting at, there's like 7-8 fights you want to get over on, and there's 3 or 4 you're just going to have to be way under and ignore and just pray you don't get it wrong. That's the way I think you need to attack this card. Gaziev and Pericic. Pericic is minus 130. Gaziev is plus 110. Fight ends inside the distance, comes in at minus 800, under 1.5 rounds, minus 200. So you can see why there's a few targets you really need to be slamming in. The odds say we should see a big finish here, and I agree with them. Pericic is 8,400. Gaziev is 7,800. I am not taking this dog either. I think I might accidentally skip the fight. I need to go back. Monk, who you got?
I might actually pick this dog straight up, man. This seems like recency bias, to be honest. He gets KO'd. Gaziev gets KO'd early by WCA, who, according to every person you listen to, is like the next guy at heavyweight, which outside to get the title shot. I mean, but he beats Peterson. in the first round, beats Don'Tale Mayes. Probably should have finished him, but 2 takedowns outstruck him. 12 minutes of control time. That is very, very good. What did he even score in that one? Looks like only 85. But yeah, he is a little expensive at 78, or actually maybe he's cheap because he's fighting a guy that hasn't fought anyone in the UFC. He fought Alicia Ellison. He fought Louie Sutherland. Like, who gives a shit? One of the worst rated strength of schedules so far in the entire UFC, especially the heavyweight division, and obviously so. He's fought 2 dudes and they're bad. So I mean, Gaziev has the win over Budai. Very good win here. Went 4 full rounds with Rosenstruik. I got to pick Gaziev here, man. And if Pericic comes out and just sits him down, then that's fine. I don't think Pericic is bad or anything. I just personally haven't seen enough. And Gaziev losing to WCA very quickly doesn't really make him terrible in my eyes. So his defense could use some work for sure. But Pericic's stats are all thrown off because, again, hasn't fought anyone of note. So this is going to be his most difficult fight to date. And I kind of I'm going to have to pick the underdog here because I don't really know how many more I'm going to get to.
Yeah, I'm going to take Pericic. I know he's been fighting the lower end of the division. I'm okay with it here. I think he's in a decent spot against Gaziev. Minus 130, I think is actually pretty interesting. You got as a bet for me. I'm considering it. Gaziev is not terribly high volume. I don't think he's going to get takedowns in this particular matchup. That's probably his path here. I'm also worried that the last little bit here, aside from Pericic, I think being a little undervalued, is that he was a little concerning to me in that he was knocked out by Jairzinho Rosenstruik. He was, I think, is that the one with the corner called it off, right? Or the very end of the round?
Yeah.
But he took a beating in that fight. He returned 5 months later, and yeah, he beat Don'Tale Mayes. Don'Tale Mayes sucks, and he did not dominate Don'Tale Mayes. Like, it was, what was that fight? What was I'm gonna look at the scoring real quick. It was 30-27 across, but he got some takedowns, not a ton of volume. Don't think it was a good performance. That was 5 months removed from being knocked out. Well, WCA knocked him out about 5 months ago, and he's back in the cage again. I really think you need. Now I get he wasn't turned off in that fight. I know all about activity. I love active fighters, but when you get knocked out, you need 6 to 9 months. I think, unless it's something fluky. If you got subbed, I think it's different. You can make a pretty quick turnaround on a sub, especially a blood choke. Like, it's not as violent. Clearly, don't like that little nugget on Gaziev. I'll take Pericic. It is another one to be overweight. It's big numbers for the under 1.5 rounds. Just look at the fights that are broke down for under 1.5 rounds big. Pick a side, and those are your preferred GPP plays. It kind of is that simple this week. For this one, I lean towards Pericic. Now, I did skip a fight, so I have to give this fight I skipped 2 fights.
I was wondering.
Because the way Fight Odds has this listed, there's only 2 fights in the prelim card. So they jacked us all up here. So we have to go back here. And that's why I was waiting for the underdogs. And I believe I'm picking both dogs on the, or at least one here on the prelim card. So let's talk Kody Steele and Dom Mar Fan. Loading these up to the back of the podcast. Good for these guys. Steele is minus 180. Dom Marfan is plus 155. Your fight goes to decision. Comes in at minus 170. Expected to see all 3 rounds of action. I knew there were fights that were going to be underweight on, and I just accidentally skipped them for some reason. DraftKings salaries for this one. Steele is 8,800. Fawn is 7,400. Monk, I know you were dying to talk about this one. Who you got?
Man, this one is a little bit tough. I might go with the underdog here. I might go with some Dom. I don't know, man. It could go either way. Kody Steele's coming off that loss over Rongju. He does have the DWCS win right before that against Blair. In that Rongju fight, he got outstruck by well over 2-1. He did land a takedown and had only 6 seconds of control time. That is not what we are looking for. Meanwhile, Dom Marfan here has landed at least one takedown in all three of his two of his road to the UFC fights, and then his one UFC fight. What else? He's outstruck everybody that he's faced, it looks like, except Yuji. That was a very close striking battle. But he's getting 8 minutes of control, 10 minutes of control, 3 minutes of control, and Kody is giving up the control time overall, and he has not much striking defense, where Dom Marfan is landing 3.71 per minute. So Steele is landing a ton of strikes as well, 4.4, but he's allowing 7. Which is not good. He's got 100% takedown defense, but that's probably because, I guess only Blair has attempted one. So no one's really tested him. I like Dom Marfan for that reason. He's landing 2/3 of a takedown per 5 minutes. He's controlling 2-1 over his opponents. He's actually controlling almost 2.5 rounds per, or 2.5 minutes per round, which is fantastic. So he's limiting his opponent's offense. He's got weapons standing, he's got weapons with his wrestling, and he controls all the control time there. So I really do like to see that. He's got submissions. I'm going to pick the underdog here at as Dom Marfan at what is it, 7,400, I believe. Yeah, love this week. Let's get a lot of takedowns.
Yep, I'm like Dom Marfan in this spot too. There's just no way I can play Kody Steele at this price. Like, I'm probably, when I do my aggressive tight cores, Kody Steele is going to get X'd out, and if he beats me, he beats me. But I don't like the odds. Don't see a finish. I don't think he's got the grappling edge. I actually think Dom Marfan has the grappling edge. Another path for him. I think he's a live dog. Fan is a cash punt for sure. In terms of cheap with some upside, I think he's a little more active. Yes, it's a step up in competition. He hasn't faced Steele's faced a better competition, but Fahn's got a little more volume, a little more. The grappling edge. He's cheaper. It kind of check. I do like Dom Marfan in this spot, and there's just no way I like Kody Steele. So yeah, not a fight I love, but I will take the dog, which makes it a little interesting. The other fight we accidentally skipped over: Jonathan Micallef taking on Themba Gorimbo. Micallef comes in at -230. Gorimbo +195. This one, I believe, is a fight ends. Yeah, slightly though. Fight ends at the distance is -155. So not some of the big numbers we're seeing, but it's leaned towards the finish. Micallef 9,200. Gorimbo is 7,000. Monk, who you got?
I'm gonna have to go with the favorite here, man. Themba Gorimbo's been pretty disappointing lately. I mean, you lose to Vicente Luque, you put yourself in a freaking submission in the first 40 seconds is crazy against Luque when you know that's what he has. Then you lose to Jeremiah Wells. I mean, on paper, it looked a little bit better because Gorimbo landed all those takedowns, controlled him for 5 minutes. But Jeremiah Wells landed takedowns. He had more control time than Gorimbo did, and he outstruck Gorimbo. So I'm just not impressed with Gorimbo lately. Micallef looked not good in his first round against Oban Elliott, and then just hung on and really turned the tables in the most extreme way, which is very impressive. Like, not every fight you're going to come out and just, take your opponent down and finish him like that. You're going to have some obstacles, and he definitely had that. He faced it, and he looked great in that second round when he turned it around. So mad respect for that. I don't put a ton of weight on this Kevin Jousset win, but still undefeated in UFC and DWCS. We like to see that. Gorimbo's best win is what? Ramiz Brahimaj? Like, I guess that's a good win and all, but I don't know, man. I just got to go with Micallef here. Gorimbo, just not a lot of offense. Like, 60% accuracy, but he's only landing 2.7 per minute. He's getting takedowns though. He's getting tons of control time, 70% to 30%. But Micallef, if he can avoid takedowns, that's one thing. And I don't think Gorimbo really has the best takedowns for the most part. Most of them came against Brahimaj, who loves to get taken down because he's always looking for a submission, and Nico Price, who just loves to not win fights. So I don't know how much volume as far as takedowns we're going to see from Gorimbo here, but I really liked what I saw to Micallef. Like you said earlier about somebody, this dude's going to fight for your money. And I like the price tag a little bit. It could be a little bit cheaper, 9,200. Actually, I don't really like the price tag. I might kind of say, what's that?
Price tag sucks.
Price tag does suck. I thought it was 82, and then I looked down and said 92, and had to take that back. So yeah, I'm going to pick Micallef, but this is not one I'm looking forward to for DraftKings. Even with Gorimbo at 7K, like, sure, you can play some small amount of him, even if you think Micallef's going to win. But yeah, this price is just crazy. I thought that said 82, and now I'm very disappointed.
Yeah, I'll be overweight on Themba Gorimbo. I'm going to take him here for the kind of the reasons you mentioned. Yeah, he got Oban Elliott won that first round. You said whatever. Yes, Themba makes mistakes. Absolutely. Could he get caught in the front choke again? Sure. I think he's one of those fighters. His fight IQ is poor. He is learning. He's athletic. He likes to grapple. So for DFS, I'm right there. And really what it comes down to on top of that, I think this line is too wide. I think this is recency bias. Micallef's got 3 wins. Gorimbo, got finished by Luque. It's Vicente Luque. Like it's not nobody. And then he ran out of gas in that Jeremiah Wells fight. We'll see if that can play out too. If he blows his load again and Micallef just had a comeback win, could totally happen. But if the price tag's 9,200 for Micallef, and I was already talking, I want to play Rahiki, I want to play Malkoun. I got these guys in the middle, in the mid range that I want both sides. Like, how do I play Micallef? I don't think I can. Gorimbo being a live dog, in my opinion, more than a live dog, where he has a very clear stylistic path to victory, where if he doesn't make a mistake, I think he wins. Is it risky? Yes. It's plus 195. It's 7,200, I think it was. Yeah. 7,000 flat.
7,000. Yeah.
Sign me up, man. I'm all about it. Is it a cash play? Probably not. Maybe to be able to pay up, I would play both him and Marwan. I think that's fine because I don't think you're stacking the main event. I would. I'm going to play more Gorimbo for sure. And plus 200, I'm considering a bet, honestly. Like a little sprinkle. I think this feels like a recency bias line. Gorimbo's not great, like you mentioned, but I think the path is there. All right, now we can go back to where we're supposed to be, and let's talk about Tim Elliott taking on Steve Erceg. Steve Erceg is a favorite, minus 185. Elliott is plus 160. Fight goes to decision is loading. It's minus 210. We should see all 3 rounds of action here. Erceg is 9,300. Elliott is 6,900. My guy, I'm not about this one. How about you?
Yeah, no, not so much here. The only thing I'm going to say about Elliott is you really can't discount him. He's almost like the male version of Sam Hughes, like gonna fight for your money. He is tough to get past, even though he's got a bunch of losses. He just is someone that you can't overlook, and I don't think Steve Erceg is overlooking him by any means. Erceg got pushed up way too quickly, I think, in my opinion. Loses to Pantoja. Kai Kara France loss is tough because that was a KO in the first round, and then he loses to Brandon Moreno. So the 2 of those I can kind of excuse. The KKF one is a little bit tougher to swallow. But he comes back, beats Ode Osborne in what was kind of a close fight, landed some takedowns, about a round of control time here. Tim Elliott, surprisingly, so some people beat Kai Asakura as a plus 250 favorite. Only lost before that was Micallef and Nicolau in his last 8. So he's not fighting anybody crazy good, but he's not, losing to anybody crazy bad either. I mean, it's Micallef and Nicolau. That's about it. I don't really like Erceg that much. I mean, not his as a person, he's fine, but his fight style, I just
as a person,
he's probably fine. He's probably cool, right? I'm not talking shit about his character, but yeah, the defense is definitely lacking. He's given up almost 4 strikes a minute, which is what he lands. He doesn't have a ton of takedowns. His opponents are taking him down more. He's losing the control time battle just barely. And Tim Elliott, lots of takedowns, 1.25 per 5 minutes, wins the control time battle, and he only gives up 2.65 strikes per minute. And surprisingly, in 21 fights, Tim Elliott never ever been knocked down. Now, Steve Erceg is not known for his superpower or anything. Yeah. But yeah, I just see this one going to decision. Don't count out the 39-year-old, but I can't pick him here. I think Erceg is talented. I don't think he belongs at the super duper top of the division yet. But I think he has the tools to beat Tim Elliott. Could be a tough fight though.
Yeah, I'm pretty much with you. Tim Elliott is also a live cash game partner that goes to decision odds, and he's live. Sure. He's weird. I don't think he's going to get finished. We're on the same page for this one. I do think Erceg's better. I think he gets it done, but I think he scores shit similar to Micallef. I can't play Micallef. I don't think I could play Erceg. Elliott's live. I just can't go as far as the last fight where I'm going to pick the dog. I think Elliott is live though, but it's one of those no thanks on the favorite on DraftKings. I'll go ahead and play a little bit of Tim Elliott just in case. He's a better cash game punt than Gorimbo. If you're building cash, I think you probably start with Elliott and Dom Marfan and then pick your favorites. Like those are your punts, and then go ahead and pick your favorites. You build a floor with your dogs who are both live. So I'm picking one. The other one is just live. Steve Erceg for the win, but not an interesting fight. I don't think the line is quite wide enough where I'm going to want to bet it on either side. If I was going to bet anything on this fight, it might be, I might find whatever Steve Erceg's significant strike number is and bet over it. I think he probably lands a bunch in this fight. But Elliott's got a weird style. So Steve Erceg for the win, and that's the DFS breakdown. I won't reiterate it again. Beneil Dariush taking on Quillen Salkeld. Salkeld on a rocket ship to the moon as the co-main event, minus 500 against Benny Dariush at plus 375. Your fight ends inside the distance is minus 500, minus 145 under 1.5 rounds. That is insane. So another one to target in theory here. Salkeld is 9,400. Benny is 6,800. I said in theory for a reason, but Monk, you first as always.
Yeah. Shout out to my guy Tommy, one of his favorite fighters here. Benny Dariush is just getting dealt the worst opponents that you could imagine. In his last 4, he's losing to Du Bronx, he's losing to Saruki, and he beats Moicano. This is a very good win. And then he gets absolutely slaughtered by BSD here. And Salkeld, I mean, you're looking at the BSD fight from Dariush, then you look at the Hackpress fight or the Malarkey fight from Salkeld, and you're thinking, how does this guy even survive this fight? So, yeah, I got to go with Salkeld, unfortunately. Dariush, we just don't know, man. I mean, he's the 3 guys I just named are all at the very top of the division, or were, or still are. He's beaten Gamrot before that, CDF. I mean, he's beaten the who's who of this division. He famously went on at least, what was it, like a 9-fight win streak or something like that at lightweight, which is extremely impressive. He has decent defense. He doesn't get hit a ton at 2.6, but his chin has failed him over and over and over again. He's going to be looking for takedowns. He's going to be looking for control time. Well, that's what Salkeld's looking for too, who lands 2.65 takedowns per 5 minutes. I know we don't have a very expansive fight time for him overall, but that's a lot. And he's controlling 72% of the grappling time. He's allowing 3 strikes a minute while he lands 5. Chin of Dariush is there. What Salkeld did, or isn't there, what Salkeld did in his last 2 fights, especially the hack press fight, who is extremely tough to finish, extremely tough. And he got deaded with that kick. I got to go with Salkeld here. He's not the most expensive fighter on the card. He's minus 175 at least, or he was 2 days ago, to finish via KO TKO. And he's like the 3rd most expensive, maybe 4th most expensive fighter on the card, averaging 115. Benny gives up 112 when he loses. Sign me up for Salkeld. All formats.
I'm picking Benny.
Oh,
this is the biggest dog play on the card. Look, Salkeld looks good, yes, but Jamie Malarkey has had chin issues. Anshul Jubilee. Who the fuck's that guy? Gage Young. Oof. Okay. Although Gage Young all of a sudden, I guess he's a little better than I thought, but whatever. He got taken down 9 times. Ganal Ashmuz got taken down a bunch. Benny's got better takedown defense than all those guys. It is the chin. That's the concern. But the level of competition between Jamie Malarkey, Anshul Jubilee, Gage Young, and who's beaten to Beneil Dariush is fucking massive. I'm not saying Salkeld shouldn't be favored. Minus 500 feels stupid to me. I can't get my head around that. Benny Dariush, great grappler, willing to throw down. Could he get caught? Sure, but I would rather play Malkoun and Rahiki. I got to make a cut somewhere. I can't be over to all the optimal 9K guys. I'm going to take Benny over Salkeld, and definitely those other guys over Salkeld. And if Benny gets knocked out in the first minute, I'm toast. Is it possible? Sure, but it's MMA. All different kinds of shit is possible. Just the level of competition jump here, this spot, the co-main, Salkild's got to show me before I could take him. I'm probably going out a little far on the ledge, picking Dariush straight up at this point in his career, but the skill is there. It's such a big jump to me. I'm going to go ahead and take a stab on Benny Dariush. And if I didn't sell you with that, at least you have to examine, do you want Salkild against Benny Dariush or those other matchups we talked about? Your decision to make. You can say, I think Benny's chin is gone. This is why. But just know that means one of those other two guys you're going to have to come down on. And that's your decision to make. For me, Salkild is clearly at the bottom of that list. And to make that point clear, I'll take a stab on Benny Dariush. Main event time. Before we break it down, do me a favor. Smash the like button. Drop a comment with your favorite play of the day. You want all the tools and stuff at DFS Army, Optimizer, Ownership, more breakdowns, Discord, all that stuff. Link in the description on YouTube. Appreciate all of you guys. Members, ask any questions. We'll see you in there all week as always. Jack Della Maddalena versus Carlos Prates. Maddalena. Well, actually, right now, Prates is the favorite, minus 115. It opened up. The opening lines are all over the place. It's about a pick 'em everywhere. Just Prates, a very small favorite at the moment on most books. Your fight ends inside the distance. Prop comes in at minus 215. Over 2.5 rounds is minus 175. Over 3.5 rounds is minus 158. And I'm going to kind of go against something I said last week that typically in those spots, I'm okay with stacking cash games. Prates is 8,200. Della Maddalena is 8,000. I don't like the stack in this one because they're both strikers. There's going to be no grappling that I could see. Neither one's got super high volume. So, Monk, what do we do with this fight?
This is an interesting one because while it should be super fun to watch, it might not be the best for DraftKings. We are sitting at a minus, or I don't know what you said it was. 2 days ago it was minus 215. So it is favored to finish inside the distance.
Yeah, 5 rounds though, and how the volume scares me.
The volume does scare me because Prates lands 3.7 per minute and Jack lands 5.5. Now this isn't like enough to really. I'm not seeing any of them get knocked down per se too often, so I'm not really sure how all the points are going to get scored. But we might see a 100-point winner if this happened to go to decision, or if we see, somebody get knocked out or TKO'd, but without a knockdown, it could maybe not score well. My issue is Prates allows 4.5 while he lands 3.7. Maddalena is allowing 3.8. Both guys allow way too much, to be perfectly honest. Prates has hit, has connected, has found more knockdowns than Maddalena, but Maddalena's got the better, it's pretty close on paper, actually. Name value, Maddalena has the better strength of schedule, right? Probably overall. But wins and losses, it's pretty even. My thing is Jack Della starts off really well. First round, he outworks 70% of his opponents. 6.1 strikes per minute, while Prates is landing 3.6. Round 2, that completely changes. Jack's striking goes down 20% to 4.9, while Carlos goes up to 4.9. So one guy starts a little bit slower on average. The other guy kind of starts a little bit quicker. So the first 2 rounds, I think, are going to be very, very telling. Maddalena statistically has much better striking defense than Prates. You should already know that because I said Prates gets outlanded by 0.75 strikes a minute, but he's consistently finding ways to get the job done. He's a smart IQ fighter for the most part, a high IQ fighter, I should say. That wasn't very smart for the saying smart IQ, but he's a decent. He might get outstruck, but he's always in there. He's always thinking ahead. And he just finds ways to get it done, man. Jack Della Maddalena, though, you see that loss to Islam, and you're like, oh, maybe this. No, like this dude is top of the top for sure. This is going to be an absolute banger fight. I really don't know who to pick. It on paper, the number's right. It's for sure a pick 'em. I don't know who could possibly predict this with 99% confidence.
Yep.
I think. Oh God, I don't know. I should pick Maddalena. My brain is telling me to pick Maddalena, I think I'm going to pick Carlos Prates, though. I don't know why. I think it's just going to be a banger fight. Prates, I'm excited to see what weapons he has, what he's going to have in store for Maddalena, because we know what Maddalena is going to do. He fights the same way every fight, which is very, very good for him. He's a great fighter, great boxer, great stand-up. And he's looking to get that title back. And if he beats Prates, that's going to be his first step. I don't know, man. Something's just telling me that Prates is going to hang in there, and anything could happen. So I'm probably wrong, but I'm going to pick Prates by like just a hair.
Remember, Jack Della Maddalena lost the first 2 rounds to Gilbert Burns recently and then knocked him out in the 3rd. But the way to beat both these guys is the wrestling. Is Prates going to come out with the wrestling game plan? I don't think so.
I mean,
if one guy is going to change it up and all of a sudden wrestle, I think it's probably Carlos Prates, actually.
That's true.
Like, he's the one who could switch it up on you. Regardless, though, with the volume numbers, I can't stack it in cash games. It's mid-range, like, just no thanks. I probably avoid it altogether in cash games. I am going to lean Jack Della Maddalena ever so slightly. And I think, just for the reason you mentioned, I think a little higher volume at home in case it goes to decision. Super close, super methodical. It is kind of a toss-up. And the odds are right. I would say, so that's not a super strong take. My stronger take in the fight is that if this gets out of the first round, which all the odds say it should get out of the first round, I don't think it's going to score great. You have all the other 110-point spots on this card, on big under 1.5 rounds, big guys. This is 2 good strikers. Like, you got to land. Like, obviously MMA could always get a quick finish. I think the odds are less here. The Vegas odds do back that up. The name value is going to inflate the ownership. I'll go underweight. I think that's my take on this one. Underweight to Della Maddalena and Prates. Make me sign up for a side. I'll go ahead and I'll take Jack Della Maddalena. Don't go anywhere yet. We got to talk Kill Shot. Kill Shot, if you do not know, aside from being the name of the show, it is an under-owned GPP play that can help you take down a tournament. Can be a favorite. Just need some low ownership. Monk, I'll let you go first this week. I won't steal anything from you. Who you got?
Well, I think I could guess who yours is going to be. I probably agree with it if it's the case. I'm going to go with, hopefully this fight goes to decision. He is extremely cheap and will probably be too low owned. I'm going to go Tim Elliott here, even though he probably won't get the win. I did pick Steve Erceg. He fights for your money, wrestler, control time. I love what I've seen from him. Even when he's getting his ass beat, man, he's never giving up ever. So yeah, I got to back a guy like that at 6,900 for my kill shot.
I think some people, you might be expecting me to take Benny Dariush. I don't know what his ownership's going to be. I'm going to go the way that everybody, I like reading recency bias and thinking lines are wrong. Themba Gorimbo.
Oh,
is he good? No. But could he get takedowns and score? Yes. And I think that's enough for what I need in this spot. If I was going to have a backup you really hate, Themba Gorimbo call, it would probably be no, I don't think Delmar. I don't think that fight scores high enough. If you don't,
that's
like
what I thought
Themba,
you were going to pick.
No, if you don't, I think he wins, but he could win and score 80. And on this card, that might not be enough. So if you don't like Themba, my backup play, honorable mention will go to then I will say Benny Dariush sub 7K. I think is always allowed. I'm interested to see what his ownership is going to be. Make sure you use the DFS Army ownership tool and find out. That's what we got for UFC Perth. Monk, anything before we get up on out of here?
No, man, I'm looking forward to this card. It is an early card. So yeah, get your stuff in, get your lineup set, all your bets in, all that stuff ahead of time, so you don't miss out. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. Love the Australian cards.
Make sure you get your lineups in Friday night. For me, my notifications on my phone are going to go off when I wake up, make my coffee, toast my little banana bread down there.
Hell yeah.
Get all curled up, see if my daughter's awake, watch some fights. So make sure you got your plan for however you're going to watch on Saturday morning. Get those lineups in. Join the DFS Army if you're not a member already. For Monk, I am Sniper. Good luck, and we'll see you at the top of the leaderboards.